Hey everyone, in my hands now I have the Phonak Sphere Infinio and the Starkey Edge AI hearing aids. These hearing aids represent the most advanced hearing aids on the market right now. Both of these hearing aids are using deep neural networks to enhance speech clarity. Both of them have their own pros and cons. In this video, we will compare the features and capabilities of each one of those hearing aids against each other and see which one will be the best for you based on your own needs. My name is Guy. I've been managing severe hearing loss and tinnitus for over a decade now. I've used both of these hearing aids for a long period of time. I've tested them in different environments, including very challenging and very noisy environments. Comparing them in the same environments, and therefore I can provide accurate feedback to how they compare to each other. So let's talk about what types and form factors are available for each one of those hearing aids. The Starkey Edge AI hearing aids are available as multiple types. They have everything from receiver in canal, in the ear, completely in canal, and a micro receiver in canal version, which is the one that I'm showing you here in this review. In terms of durability, both of these hearing aids are rated IP68, and each one of them has a special addition on top of that to make them even more protected from water and dust. But when it comes to durability, they are pretty much at the same level. When it comes to connectivity, the Starkey Edge AI can connect to your smartphone with no problem, and they support great sound quality for streaming from your device. However, they are not able to connect to TVs or computers without using a streaming device. Before I forget to mention it, I just want to say that the Phonak, of course, have their own TV streamer. The TV streamer supports an optical digital connection or an analog connection. The optical connection is of course the higher quality, and that's the one I would recommend that you use. The TV streamer is controlled by the Starkey mobile app. When I connect it to my TV or the computer, I experience no lag at all, meaning that the video and the audio seem to be playing exactly at the same time. You can see that it's pretty easy to control the hearing aid volume separate from the streamer volume. That way you can decide how much of the outside world you're gonna hear while you're streaming from the device. The Phonak, on the other hand, supports Bluetooth Classic and can connect directly to smartphones, TVs, computers, and so on. As long as the device that you're connecting to support a modern Bluetooth protocol, the Phonak Sphere Infinio can connect to it. In addition, the Phonak hearing aids deliver superb sound quality from all these devices. I just want to mention that on my website you can find the best deals for over-the-counter hearing aids, premium hearing aids, and hearing aids accessories. Please see the link in the video description below that will take you to the page on my website where you can see all those deals. In terms of general sound quality, of how you hear sounds through your hearing aids, both hearing aids deliver superb sound quality. Now we get to the part that I know that most of you, and myself included, were really curious about. Which one of these hearing aids deliver better speech clarity in noisy, challenging environments? As I explained before, what I actually did is compare those two hearing aids in the same environment. For the speech clarity test, I went to the same coffee shop that I used for the original Phonak Sphere Infinio test I did a few months ago. So what I've done is literally put one hearing aid on, and then I had a conversation with my wife and other people with one hearing aids, and then I switched to the other hearing aids and did the same test again. This was my best way of comparing these hearing aids in the same environment and in the same conditions. This is the one test where the differences between the hearing aids were pretty significant. The Starkey Edge AI hearing aids were doing pretty good If the noise and the conversation around us were not too loud, I was able to have the conversation with my wife and other people and communicate pretty well. However, when more people came into the coffee shop or when the noise around us was louder, I was beginning to have problems. I had to ask my wife again and again, "Can you repeat what you said?" And that started to seem like other hearing aids that are not able to filter out all the noise around us. When I switched back to the Phonak Sphere Infinio, I was not having this issue. Throughout the time that we were in that coffee shop, no matter how many people were in the coffee shop or what kind of noise we had around us, I was not having any problem. With the sphere function on, I was able to have conversation with no problem. And I did not have to ask my wife or other people to repeat themselves even one time. So when it comes to speech clarity in noisy environment, the Phonak Sphere Infinio are still the leading hearing aids. But I do want to emphasize that the AGI hearing aids were doing pretty good. And in other environments that were not as extreme as a busy coffee shop, I was doing pretty good and had no problem following conversation. It's really just those really noisy, really challenging environments where the AGI were not able to support me. The AGI hearing aids were doing pretty good in windy situations outdoors and even when I was driving in the car and having a conversation. Now let's talk about rechargeability. This is the other area where these hearing aids have big differences between them. If you have to use the sphere function of the Phonak hearing aids for many hours, you will run into those situations where the batteries are just gonna run out. This will happen to you if you have to use that feature for a full day. So after about 6 to 7 hours, you will start seeing the batteries going very low. So if you're someone that have to work in very noisy environments and use that feature, this is going to be a challenge. But I think for most of us, this is probably not the case. We are typically in those very challenging environments for a couple of hours at a time, maybe a few hours at a time, but not very often for full days. If this is your situation, then the Phonak Sphere Infinio will do just fine. You can also put them into the charger for like half an hour, and that will give you much more time to work with. The Starkey AGI hearing aids, on the other hand, have no challenges like that. Even if you use the Edge Plus mode for a long time, you are not gonna drain the batteries. So if you are someone that have to work in noisy environments for many hours at a time, basically full days, then for you, the AGI hearing aids might be a better choice. The micro receiver in canal AGI hearing aids that I have been testing for all this time will last you for 41 hours. Even if you stream and use the Edge Plus mode, let's say that it will go down for 30 hours, and I'm just using a random number. You're not going to use the hearing aids for more than 30 hours at a time. So I think it's safe to say that the AGI batteries are never going to run out on you. When it comes to the mobile app, both hearing aids have very strong apps to support them. The apps are a little bit different from each other and they can do different things different ways, but they are both very strong and they both allow you to adjust the hearing aids to different situations and to match your needs. The one feature that the AGI hearing aids have to offer and the Phonak hearing aids do not is the fall detection feature. The hearing aids have the ability to detect when the person who is wearing them is experiencing a fall and alerting the people that you designated in a setting that you actually experienced a fall and you need help. If this is something that is a concern for you, that might be a very useful feature. I have to say that this comparison was a challenging video to make. I was doing my best to compare these hearing aids in a fair way and to test them in the same environment and the same conditions. In order for me to share my results with you, I created a table on my website where I posted the results per test. On the side of each test category, I also included an importance field. The way I use this importance field is to rate the importance of a feature to me. What I encourage you to do is to use the same field to gauge and rate the importance to you. So let me take one example. For me specifically, speech clarity in noisy environment is paramount. This is really important for me. This is my biggest challenge. On the other hand, being able to use the sphere function or the age plus function for more than a few hours at a time is not really important for me. I am not in that situation very often. So in my example, speech clarity is rated as high importance, where rechargeability for me is rated as medium. Of course, you have to use your own importance rating. By doing that, you can gauge for yourself how important is each test results for you. The overall results for me is that the Phonak Sphere Infinio are still the leading hearing aids right now. This is because speech clarity for me, especially in noisy environment, is one of the most important features. But you can see that if for you rechargeability is more important, meaning that you have to use the Age Plus feature or the sphere function for many hours at a time, this might change the overall rating of the hearing aids for you. Another example is the fall detection feature. If that feature is really important for you, the Phonak Sphere Infinio just doesn't have that feature. So that will change the overall rating toward the AGI hearing aids immediately for you. I hope that what I'm trying to explain here makes sense, and you can use that table on my website to determine which one of those hearing aids will work better for you. This was a challenging video to make, and it took some time with all the testing, but it was really fun actually. I hope that you enjoyed it and you find this video informative. If you did, please share it with other people that can benefit from it, and please like and subscribe. Don't forget that in the video description below, you will find a link where you can find the best deals on over-the-counter and premium hearing aids as well. I'll see you in the next video.